Hey, you guys. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. I hope everybody had a great weekend. First off, I had a busy weekend, but I hope everybody had a great weekend. We're going to be talking about, I was going to say Mama June star, Alana Thompson, but Mama June is actually a Honey Boo Boo star. Really? Like, I think that I was about to say it wrong because we all know Mama June because of Honey Boo Boo, right? So, Honey Boo Boo, who now goes by Alana Thompson, she has outgrown the name Honey Boo Boo. She recently did an interview with Access Hollywood where she spoke about her boyfriend Dralen's arrest. And you guys, I gotta give you a backstory on this arrest if y'all don't know. Okay, let me make sure y'all can hear me. Okay, make sure my mic is on because y'all know I'm always coming on without my mic on. Okay, so February 28th, 2023. Alana and her boyfriend Dralin and their friend Draco was in the car somewhere in Georgia, and a police officer got behind them, tried to initiate a stop. Dralin would not stop, and they went on a chase. Alana says it was not a high-speed chase. In this interview with Access Hollywood, she's like wanting to put the rumors to bed. She's like, it was not a high speed chase. It was a slow speed chase or a low speed chase, something like that. She also says she was not in danger, right? Now, back when this happened, news broke about the arrest. Outlets were reporting Alana Honey Boo Boo Thompson involved in car chase, leading boyfriend Dralin Carswell to a DUI arrest. And a lot of reports were saying high speed chase. Now, we're going to go over the police report because I have it. I have the police report, okay? So we'll go over that because some of the things that she's saying, like, oh, he never got over 65 miles per hour. According to the police report, now you can decide yourself if you want to believe the police report. Thank you, babe. You can decide yourself if you want to believe this police report, but according to the police report, yes, he got over 65. He was going like 75 in a 50 miles per hour speed zone, and he ran someone off the road. And the police had to do what they call a pit maneuver to get them to stop. So Alana says she was never in danger, but she was very much in danger. The pit maneuver, sometimes people get hurt. Also, the officers ran up on the car with their weapons drawn. Any little thing go wrong with that, and somebody could end up hurt, right? So yeah, February 28th, 2023, this police chase happened. Dralin is arrested. Now let me find what he was all charged with because it was a lot. Okay, I'm gonna read this article really quickly. 17-year-old reality TV star was in the car with her boyfriend during a 3-mile chase. The police confirmed to People Magazine. People Magazine have confirmed through the police department that Alana, her boyfriend Dralin, was arrested on Tuesday for DUI, fleeing the police, outstanding warrants after a 3-mile car chase in Monroe County, Georgia. Alana, who was 17 at the time, and Dralin was 21. 21. Alana was a passenger in the car during the chase. She was not charged and is only a witness. Monroe County Sheriff's Office Lieutenant John Thompson confirmed the outlet's reporting of the arrest to People after the news broke. According to the reporter, the incident took place around 4:30 p.m. on Tuesday when an officer ran the tag of a Dodge Charger in front of a gas station on Highway 24. After the police system confirmed that the owner of the car had a warrant under his name, the officer attempted to make a traffic stop, but the vehicle sped north. Now, I will say this is conflicting information because outlets are reporting that they ran his tag and it came back that the driver had a warrant, but the car is in Dralen's mom's name. And then the police report that we're going to read says nothing about them running his tags. They just say they got behind him. And we'll go over the police report, but there is conflicting. Hey, not a troll. Hey, welcome in. So there is conflicting information there. Okay, to continue on, it says, per authorities, the officer eventually used the pit maneuver, which is called precision. I'm going to mess that word up, even though I know the word. I feel like I'm not going to be able to say it. I'm saying it to myself. No, we'll just call it the pit maneuver. It's precision something technique, whatever. Immobilization. No, I said it. Okay. Precision immobilization technique maneuver. So basically what that is where the police officer, they get beside the car. So you got Dralin here. The police come up about halfway and they hit the butt of the car to spin them around. So they stop, right? Sean. Thank you, boo. All right. So that's what they had to do. And a lot of times the pit maneuver can result in injury. Okay. There's been times it's even resulted in fatalities. There's been lawsuits come from this. I mean, it can be a dangerous maneuver that they have to take to get in order to get the car to stop. Okay, so it spun the car around. It disabled the car near Hickman Road. Dralin, who was 21, was arrested for DUI, fleeing, failing to maintain lanes, following too closely. He also received a speeding citation. The outlet also reported that passenger Julian Malik Devon Williams, 24, was arrested on outstanding warrants. Alana's sister, Pumpkin, who has sole custody of Alana, reportedly picked Alana up at Monroe County Jail. At the time of this chase, it says that they have been dating for 2 years. Yeah, okay. So after that happened, you guys, I remember when this happened, and let me tell you, when this happened in 2023, I remember thinking, like, I'm not going to judge Dralin until we know more, because I was falsely arrested and my arrest looked similar to that. Like, oh, she ran from the police. She was driving left to center. Like, she had drugs in the car, blah, 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 blah. So when this happened, I initially was like, I need more information. I'm not just going to trust this coming out. Well, then we got more information that he ran a car off the road. They had to do the pit maneuver. Weapons were drawn. Like, we got more information. He was charged with DUI because he was under the influence, So then I was like, oh, wow, okay, a little different than mine. So I thought Pumpkin and Josh are surely going to make Alana and Dralin break up. There's no way they're going to let her stay with a man that put her in such danger, right? Well, no, that's not what happened. Pumpkin and Josh and Alana defended Dralin like you would not believe. We're only going to watch a short clip of what they said back then. We're going to get to what she said recently, but to make it all make sense, I really want to kind of go over the backstory of everything, because what we did not know is at the time that this happened, Alana and Dralin were already living together and have been living together for some time. They've been living together for like a year. Everybody thought Alana still lived with Pumpkin. So everybody was like, oh, Mama P and Josh, they're so mad at Dralin for putting Alana in danger. They're going to make her break up with him. There's no way they're going to tolerate Dralin putting Alana in danger. A lot of people thought that. Well, a few days after the arrest, Mama P went live on TikTok and she defended Dralin to the biggest degree possible. I'm going to play trigger warning. The language on here is horrific, and I can't find my old recording of it, so I can only find where I went live and talked about it. So I'm going to play some of the clips from back then when when Pumpkin and Alana responded to his arrest. Everybody thought that Pumpkin was going to be mad, that Josh was going to be mad, that Alana was going to be, disappointed in Dralin, but they defended him. So we're going to watch a little bit. Also, huge trigger warning. There is going to be tons of foul mouth language. We won't watch the video in its entirety because it does a lot to it. But I'm just going to show you a little bit on how they defended him and how they talked to their fans about this, because there were fans in here saying, wow, he put her in danger. That's not good. Just like, why did he do that? And they were just going off at people that were their fans. So we're going to jump into a little bit of listening to how they defended him.
Melissa with the sail away. Send the bitches off on a boat. Goodbye. I'm going to turn this shit to subs only chat, and none of you bitches going to be able to say shit.
Bad language.
And none of you bitches going to be able to say a motherfucking thing that's in here running that motherfucking mouth right now. Because they're like, let me tell you, so like majority of the comments and stuff, I'm just reading like basically what people put. I see all the love. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the love in this chat is like no other. 100%. Okay? Is like no fucking other.
This is when I started
seeing
right.
Him. But for the bitches in the back, for the bubblegum bum looking bitches in the back, mind your business. You are miserable, baby. You are a hater, baby. You are a hater, baby. Flood these bitches out with orange hearts in the chat. Flood these little hoes out. I know it's best for Alana and Dralin getting pulled over by the cops and apparently running from the police. I get it. Even if you would have run, even if he would have moved 2 more feet, they would have still got him with an eluding charge regardless.
He went 3 miles. I mean, come on. Listen, when it came to this, like I had a very similar situation. So I gave them I was like, I need more information, right? So I was definitely one of the ones that did not just jump to like criticize and judge the situation. I was like, oh, we need more info because it happened to me. But like I said, his is, it's a little bit different. You read the report. I mean, even like the report for my arrest is the reason it got thrown out because even the report didn't even make sense.
And then y'all would have been like, oh, she running from the police with Dralin in the car, blah, 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 blah. She's bad. He's this, he's that, and the third. Like, do y'all even fucking know Dralin? Have y'all even stopped for a second outside of the fucking show to really get to know the motherfucker?
How would we, you know?
Didn't think so. Didn't think none of you dumb bum book looking bitches in the comments. You know what I'm saying?
Alana's going to come on in just a second.
Y'all sure forgive my mama. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I see some of you bitches in here running your motherfucking mouth now over there in my mama's chat. Y'all can forgive her for everything she did for 3 fucking years. So, like, be fucking for real.
I think it's
somebody said, why you so defensive? Like, I'm defensive because y'all running y'all's mouth.
It took time for people to forgive June. Like, people didn't forgive June like 3 days after it happened. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I can't find the damn fucking
So if I can't stop, there's nowhere for me to stop. When a cop is getting behind me and pulling me over, I should just stop in the middle of the road and put everybody else's life in danger. Stop in the middle of the road and jeopardize us getting bammed in by a fucking 18-wheeler.
Just for being pulled over. And that's the facts. And that's the facts.
Exactly. Somebody said, so why 12 police? There was 3 of us. There was 3 of us in the car, and there was 12 police.
Nobody got out of the car and ran from the police. Like, they all just sat there. While the police officer snatched the phone out of Alana's hands, hung up on me, told her she couldn't even be on the fucking phone.
So he knew what the fuck he was doing. He told me I couldn't be on the phone so nobody could get no proof or evidence of this dumb fucked up shit they was doing.
Like, he dead ass. There was a registered note. It was not
somebody said Lieutenant John need to get in the box.
Alana called me immediately. He literally snatched the phone out of her hand, told her that she could not even be on the phone with me. They claimed they were pulled over because the person on the tag was wanted. That's a lie. Because Dralin mama ain't wanted. And that's
I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know. Yes, Dralin did have a gun, but it was not unmarked or whatever the fuck they said. I can tell you that right now.
It wasn't stolen. It wasn't unregistered. It wasn't none of that.
Wasn't none of that. Was not none of that. And if y'all don't believe me, why he don't got the...
I just looked this up because I was like, I feel like in a case like this where they have to use the pit maneuver to stop you, they probably can yank your phone out of your hand and turn your phone off. So I looked this up. It says during a high-risk stop, like after a pursuit, officers need your full attention. A phone can distract you or delay compliance with commands. Depending on the situation, your phone might be considered evidence if it relates to an incident. For example, if you were live streaming or recording while fleeing, the courts give police wide leeway to secure the scene after a dangerous chase. Hanging up your call and removing distractions will fall under their authority to ensure safety and compliance. So yes, legally, they can snatch your phone and hang up for safety. If they want to go further, like searching through the contents of your phone, that's different. They would need a warrant or a specific expectation. So they can, if they just pull you over and you're on your phone and you've complied with them to pull over, then probably not. But if you ran from them and you ran a car off the road and they had to use pit maneuver and they roll up with weapons drawn, yeah, they can probably yank that phone out of your hand.
Charge because this cop still got the gun right now.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to really I'm waiting for the people in the comments here running that motherfucking mouth to show me where he got charged with weed and a pistol. Somebody said what?
Why was he carrying a gun? Baby, because you don't realize the world we live in. Folks just walk up on you and shoot your ass nowadays. Come on now.
Like, who doesn't carry a gun in the state of Georgia? Be for real.
Just like somebody just said, we're allowed to carry guns. We have the rights to carry guns.
It was a little county cop. It wasn't Georgia State Patrol.
It wasn't even Georgia State Patrol.
Oh, Georgia State Patrol how? Matter of fact. If the gun was
listen to Dralin in the background.
Said, hold on, I can't. Gun was legit, they would have given it back immediately. They won't give it back to Dralin because it's not in Dralin's name. It's in his cousin.
And I'm on probation.
Or previously.
He said, and I'm on probation.
The fuck?
Okay, did y'all hear it? First off, I'm playing it one time through. I'm going to skip me talking and get back to it.
There it is.
There you go.
You want to know so bad, baby?
If you want to believe anything else, go ahead, please.
Please believe anything else. Because, baby, I know what happened. I was there when that man got behind us.
Show me where he at on probation, y'all. Show me where he's at on probation. Because he ain't on probation. Let's go. I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
He not even on probation. And yes, he was on probation previously, but it was JAG. Wasn't no federal probation. It was fucking JAG. And it was for a speeding ticket that he could not pay.
I will tell you that's not true based off the reports that we're going to go over later. But back when all this happened, I looked up what is JAG because I'm like, former military wife here. My husband's military. JAG, I know what it means when referring to military. So I'm like, what does that have to do with it? In Georgia, JAG probation usually refers to a program run through Judicial Alternatives of Georgia. It is a private probation company contracted by the courts, state and municipal, to supervise people placed on probation for misdemeanors, traffic offenses, or ordinance violations. So maybe that specific one was for that, but he also had a lot of other trouble he was in. He was wanted for violation of probation and a few other things. Instead of being supervised directly by the county or state probation office, you report to the JAG office. You may have to check in regularly, pay probation supervision fees, and complete any court order requirements, classes, fines, whatever. Failure to comply can lead to probation violation and possible jail. This setup is common in Georgia because many local courts use private probation providers to handle misdemeanor level cases. So it wasn't like, she said it wasn't even state. It was. It still was.
Come on, we getting fucking real. We getting real. Because I'm going to be so honest with y'all. It was for a speeding ticket that he could not pay. And I'm going to be so honest. I was on the phone with his JAG probation officer.
Why was you on the phone with his JAG probation officer if he was no longer on probation? Why did you even feel the need to call? Earlier she said she was on the phone with Pumpkin. Then now she's saying, which it was a 3-mile chase, so maybe she called both. But if I'm no longer on probation, I'm not going to call my probation officer if I just got off probation to let him know, like, I'm in the middle of the, police chase right now. What do I do?
While he was in the cop car.
And the probation officer said, okay, that's fine.
He said, okay, that's fine. We're going to get it figured out. And what he fucking did, we got to figure the fuck out.
He got out 2 days later. Yeah, baby.
I want to ask. Why can't I use
He is no longer on probation, and it was fucking JAG. And if you don't know what JAG is, you need to go and look it up. It's basically like a little pity probation. He wasn't on no federal state probation for you.
That's not true.
Y'all are not fucking resetting. Like, I'm fine.
I
just got my...
Okay, we'll stop it there. I do have the whole video up, though, if you want to go watch it. It's me commentated to it, though. So if you haven't seen it, you want to go watch the full rundown of how they respond and how they react and how they go, like, just defend him and how they're irritated that people's calling him out. I thought it was going to be so much different than that. And that's when I started seeing the family a little bit different, when I saw them, like, just cussing their fans. People saying, like, I'm a fan, but this isn't right. He put people in danger. He put you in danger. She was like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. Everything was fine. That's when I started seeing them a little bit differently. Well, she spoke to Access Hollywood about it because they were doing press for the upcoming season. So I guess this is a few months old, but she talked about the situation. So we're going to go ahead and listen to what she has to say, because she said she was never in danger. It was not a high-speed chase. Nothing. So let's listen.
gets into some legal troubles.
Yes.
This season.
Yes.
What is it like for you guys navigating that? Where is he at in those troubles? Is there a chance he could be going away?
Honestly, I don't want to spoil anything on the TV show or nothing, but right now we're doing pretty good. Right now we're just waiting on his lawyer to contact us back and to see our next steps and stuff. But as of right now, we don't know the next step.
Yeah. Okay. Mama, having dated men that also had legal troubles.
Right.
How do you feel about this?
I mean, I just don't ask as much. Like, I'm just like, y'all need to make sure that y'all take care of that.
Yeah,
like,
but if we're being honest, I do think that
Can I just say, when they asked, before we get to that, but when they asked, like, you know, Mama June having a boyfriend, you know, boyfriend's has been in legal trouble, how do you respond to this? She's like, you know, I just tell them they need to stay on top of their stuff. Alana went, she was like, you try to be Dralen's lawyer. She's trying to call her out.
Do you think that, like, what Dralin did, and then compared to, like, you know,
like
Mama's
men were
rap
in
of men
in jail for like drug and like hardcore drugs. My man went to jail for running from the cops one time, and he learned his damn lesson.
And he did.
And he learned his damn lesson.
I do wish that they would.
On top of it, like make sure you take care of that.
I do. I'm not gonna lie. Like, being completely honest, I do wish that people would, like, I'm not gonna say push it aside because it happened and people are very much still talking about it.
Yes.
But I just wish people would see Dralin in a different light.
Right.
A lot of people
Like, he has matured, and he has, like, what the situation is in the headlines isn't the situation at all.
Really?
A lot of people
So,
took the
I think
story
once-
and twisted it completely different and saying that, like, I was in danger at any point. Like, in no point in that whole time I was ever in danger.
Got it.
I was there, and I was, I'm not gonna lie, I was willingly there. I was never in danger.
Yeah. Okay, that's actually really good to clear up because I do think a lot of people think you were in danger.
A lot of people thought like he was
I'm
holding
glad
me
to
against
know
my
that.
will
Well,
and stuff. And no, that was
the danger part.
I never saw any reports saying that like she was being held against her will. The people were saying she was in danger because, hello, ran from the police, ran someone off the road, pit maneuver. That's why everybody was upset that he put you in danger.
It's because he ran and that it was a
And
high-speed
can we
chase,
also
right?
clear up that, like, everybody's saying it's a high-speed chase.
It really went
He never went over 65.
Yeah.
Never went over 65. 100%. There's no
Arguably-
justifying running away from the police. There's no justifying. No justifying. But I can say it was not a high-speed chase. It was a low-speed chase.
They were just trying to get to work.
Jessica said they were just trying to get to work. That is Jessica next to Alana.
I am going to say that.
Okay, so she says there was no high-speed chase. Nope, no high-speed chase. People's making that into something that it isn't. Can you guys see that? Can you guys see? If you're on your phone, you might not be able to see it. If you're watching on the TV, you might be able to see it. If you make it full screen, you might be able to. Either way, I'm going to read it, okay? It says, and this is the police report. On Tuesday, February 28, 2023, Corporal Brown was traveling north on Georgia 401 conducting traffic. While approaching the 188 northbound, I noticed a red Dodge Charger traveling at a high rate of speed and seemed to be in a hurry. Looking at the vehicle approaching the 181 northbound exit ramp, he nearly made contact with a dark in color passenger car on its rear end, and to avoid hitting the car, pulled into the emergency lane before entering the curve on the exit ramp. Let me make sure. Yeah, I think that's the right one. Make sure I'm not starting on the wrong one. Yeah, okay. Okay. Maneuvering behind the Charger on the exit ramp, I activated my lights in order to conduct a traffic stop on the vehicle. Blank Georgia plated. Continuing onto the exit ramp approaching Georgia Highway 42 North, I called in my traffic stop to dispatch while coming to a stop at the intersection of Georgia Highway 42 North and the interstate exit ramp. Sitting at the stop sign behind the Charger, I was expecting the Charger to pull into the Shell's gas station. The Dodge Charger then turned left onto Georgia Highway 42 North towards Butts County, and continued traveling at normal speed as if it did not see my emergency lights. So whenever, can y'all hear me? Because I'm reading it, but I have it full screen, and I just thought, I don't even know if they can hear me when I do it like that. Let me know if y'all heard that, me reading it. I might need to bring it up a different way. Yes, y'all could hear me? Okay, great. All right, let me do it again. Okay. All right, so it seems when the cop first saw the car was going at a high rate of speed, almost hit someone, pulled into the emergency lane to avoid it, and then got back on the road. When the cop got behind the car wasn't speeding at first. Stopped at the stop sign, then turned to go left versus pulling into the Shell station. Okay, so the Dodge Charger then turned left, continued traveling at a normal rate of speed as if they did not see my emergency lights. I then continued behind the Charger, heading north on Georgia Highway 42, traveling 55 miles per hour, passing Brandywine and Keith Drive. The driver of the Charger seemed as if they did not want to stop. I then activated my sirens and pulled up very close to the Charger and honked my siren to let the driver know I was behind him. While behind the car, I noticed the head of a female in the front passenger seat sit up, turning around and looking at my vehicle while talking on her phone. She then turned around and sat back down in the passenger seat. I then radioed dispatch that they were not stopping and called for a vehicle pursuit. Continuing past Fairview Church Road, the driver ran one car off the road. So they almost hit a car and then they ran one off the road. I continued to press close to the car, being that we were not traveling over 70 miles per hour. So we were not at this point. After passing Box Ankle Road, we began traveling over 75 miles per hour, which is considered a felony fleeing on a 55 miles per hour road. So Alana said, we never got over 65. Well, they got over 75. It said we began traveling over 75, which is considered felony fleeing. And they were on a 55 mile per hour road. Captain Duncan then radioed that he was on Georgia Highway 42 North, just before Hickman Road, just north of my location. I then advised Captain Duncan that as soon as I see his emergency lights, I will attempt to stop the vehicle using the pit maneuver. Coming up on Hickman and the curb, Captain Duncan was sitting stationary on the right shoulder of the roadway. Once he noticed my emergency lights, he activated his emergency equipment, which caused the driver of the Dodge Charger to slow down. Waiting for Captain Duncan to clear oncoming traffic, I began to match the speed of the Dodge Charger and was successfully able to perform the pit maneuver on the vehicle. Once the vehicle was stopped, I exited my vehicle with my service pistol drawn and pointed the firearm at the driver door. The windows on the vehicles were very dark. I instructed the driver to roll down the window. Once the driver rolled down the window, I noticed a male driver and a female front seat passenger. There was also a back seat passenger on the driver's side. Rolling the back window down, I instructed everyone to keep their hands where I could see them. Once Captain Duncan approached the vehicle, I covered him while he removed the rear passenger from the vehicle and placed him in handcuffs. As other units arrived, so there wasn't 12 cars behind them initially. It looks like it was 2, and then more arrived. I noticed a black firearm in the front cup holder of the vehicle. I moved closer to the driver window, reached in with my pistol drawn, and removed the firearm from the vehicle. Once other units arrived, I continued to cover the vehicle while securing the driver and front seat passenger. Clearing the road of vehicles, I ran all subjects' names and dates of birth. Running the driver, Dralin Carswell, returned suspended. Listen to this. Suspended for several super speeder suspensions, point violations, and a serious committed violation under 21 years of age. Dralin was also wanted out of Irwin County for probation violation. Running the female, Alana Thompson, returned valid with no active warrants. Running the rear passenger, he gave the name Malik Devon Williams. Williams returned as a male subject out of Swainsboro, Georgia. However, the photo displayed on my mobile computer did not resemble the passenger. Providing me with his social security number, I asked dispatch to run a history on the social, returning Julius Malik Devon Williams, rendered a suspended driver's license, several warrants, including probation violation for marijuana possession, and a warrant for fleeing and attempting to elude and possessing a pistol without a permit out of the state of Minnesota. I then placed Dralin and Williams under arrest and secured them in my patrol vehicle. So that, you know how, like, on the report, it was like, being in possession of a firearm without a permit. And they were saying, like, oh, in Georgia, you don't need a permit. Well, the reason why is because it was, I guess he obtained it in Minnesota. I'm not sure, but it says here, possessing a pistol without a permit out of the state of Minnesota. So, searching the vehicle, units located a small baggie of marijuana and a firearm. So, another firearm. Nope, same firearm, which I removed from the vehicle during the suspect's extraction from the vehicle. Running the serial number on the firearm, returned no record. I then stored the firearm inside my patrol vehicle and then released the vehicle to Alana. I then transported Dralin and Julius to the Monroe County Justice Center for processing. They were both admitted without incident. I then read Dralin his Miranda rights and asked when was the last time he smoked marijuana. Let me go to the next one. To make sure he was okay to drive, which at the time he agreed. Dralin stated he did not have any injuries that would affect him performing his test. So they performed the eye test, HGN. No clues of impairment were present. Performing the test of lack of convergence. Dralin's right eye showed lack of convergence on 2 passes to the bridge of the nose. This indicated to me that Dralin was under the influence of either cannabis, dissociative anesthetics, or inhalants. I then read Dralin the implied consent notice and asked for the state-administered test of his blood. Dralin agreed. I then secured Dralin back into my patrol vehicle and transported him to Monroe County Hospital for a blood draw. Once we arrived at the hospital, Dralin was admitted, and the hospital staff was able to complete a blood draw and secure Dralin's blood into a sheriff's office issued blood urine test kit. I then returned Dralin to Monroe County Justice Center without incident. Arriving at the sheriff's office, I logged the test kit into our evidence management system for reporting. A GBI submission form was also completed for the blood draw and submitted to evidence. A small baggie of marijuana was found that was found in the vehicle, was disposed at the sheriff's office. I then processed warrants for fleeing and attempting to elude on Dralin, along with several traffic tickets, following too closely, failure to maintain lane, driving under the influence of marijuana, driving on a suspended license, and speeding 78 miles per hour. Julius was charged with giving a false name and date of birth. Both subjects still have active warrants out of Irwinton County and will have to answer those charges upon being released. All charges were submitted and sworn to the magistrate court. Copies of the warrants will be included in the link file tabs. Criminal and driver's history will be added to the link files as well for reporting, evidence tracker sheet, GBI submission, blah, 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 blah. And it says down here who is the reporting officer and approving officer, which is the initial officer that started that stopped them. So Alana, she did not like the way the lady interviewing them compared when she brought up to June. She was like, Alana's boyfriend going through legal problems. You've dealt with that because all of your boyfriends have had legal issues. So what's that like navigating your daughter now being with someone with legal issues, and you've dealt with that as well? Alana did not like that. She was like, no. My mom's boyfriends, like, they've gotten into a lot of trouble for like bad drugs and stuff like that. My boyfriend just ran from the police one time. Not a big deal. It was a slow speed chase, and he learned his lesson. He didn't put me in danger. I was there willingly, no danger, no high-speed chase. We didn't go over 65 miles per hour. But according to this police report, you were put in danger. He almost hit somebody in the back, ran somebody off the road. The pit maneuver had to be done just to get you guys to stop. He was driving under the influence. So what Alana did say, though, she said, it's a bad thing. What he did's a bad thing. Yes, it's a bad thing. I know he shouldn't have done it. So she's not responding like she did, back when it happened, which I doubt she would on an interview like that. But it still seems like she's not she's not, if what the report's telling us is true, that she really still doesn't have like a grasp on it really was dangerous. He did put her in danger. If she wants to believe it or not, he put her in danger. And in this interview, she really wants to make sure she lets everybody know, my mom's man is not the same as my man. But if you really look at Dralin's history in the report, everything, he was wanted already for probation violation. He was already on a suspended license. He already had points violation. And then he had been arrested like a year prior to that for some pretty serious charges. So maybe while Dralin isn't getting arrested for like crack, he was only 21. He was only 21 and it was already, let's see. Dralin was wanted out of Irwinton County for probation violation. Dralin's license returned suspended for several super speeder suspensions, points violations, and a serious committed violation under the age of 21. See, it already got into 21 years of old, 21 years of age. You know, like Mama June's men, they're like in their 50s, you know, like 50s. And yes, they have a lot that they've been arrested for and it's very serious. But Dralin at 21, I mean, Pumpkin and Alana have both said like he learned his lesson. He's changed. He's matured a lot. So hopefully he has. One thing we do know though is that Alana is doing really good in Colorado. She's doing good in Colorado. She made the dean's list this past semester, so that's great. And I don't know if he works. I get asked all the time, like, do you know if Dralin works? I don't know, you guys. I don't know if he only works like when they're doing the show. I'm not sure. I want to share with you. Let me just exit that. He may only work for the, I don't know. I'm trying to show. Where did it go? Okay, there it is. Hold on. Hopefully they're doing fine. Does he have a job though? I don't know. I don't know. I am not sure. So at the end of like last season or whatever, you know, Dralin was dealing with this and it ended like this. It said Dralin pled guilty to felony fleeing and eluding. He avoided jail time, but he got 5 years probation. Because if you remember on the show, he was trying to, you know, deal with this. He got the approval to move to Colorado. Got the approval for that, but they had to fly back in for his court hearings every once in a while. And unfortunately, the season ended without us really knowing what was going on. So at the end, it added that in there that he got 5 years probation. Now they were talking about, I remember like the lawyer saying like, it's possible you could get, you know, up to 10 years for all the charges that you were charged with, up to 10 years. He was already on probation, but he got 5 years probation, avoided jail time. How can you work at a weed store with a felony? Did somebody say he works at a weed store? I don't know. Yeah, I do think, you know, this is her boyfriend. So of course she's going to defend him. Of course she don't want it to be as bad as it was. I mean, I remember as somebody, listen, before this, I was like huge support of the family, love curving the family, I, like took up for them. And I remember like being so mad, like she is 17 years old. Here you are out here driving under the influence, putting her in danger. Like you would have had so many people mad at you if she would have been ended up hurt. So then when she got on and she was like, F y'all, you know, I don't care if I lose fans. F y'all. I'm still gonna make my money. I'm still gonna make my money. I was just like, oh my goodness, like girl, the reason people's upset is because people was upset that he put you in danger. That's why people were upset. Hey Shannon. Oh wow, money swipers. Oh, that's horrible. Sending hugs. So yeah, you guys, I watched that interview because I was actually looking for another interview that I remember her doing where she talked about her relationship with Josh since the divorce. Alana talks about her relationship with Josh since Pumpkin and Josh got a divorce. And I saw it like a couple of weeks ago and I made a TikTok video about it that I still haven't got to edit to put up. But I was like, you know what? I want to do a video on that. And I went looking for that. And then I came across her talking about this. And I was like, most of that's not accurate. You are in danger. According to the report, got over 65. You know, like I was just like, what? Like, that's not true. So I was shocked to see that she definitely did say like, oh, I wasn't in danger. Like it was fine. It wasn't a high speed chase. And granted, maybe he wasn't going 100 miles per hour, but he was going 78 and a 55, which is a felony. That's a felony. Anyways, you guys, she did one with Kale, I believe. Yes, she did do one with Kale. I don't know. I thought about it. I have been seeing some of that. It's wild. You guys think he did it?
Caden 2020.
Anyways, you guys, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, share, follow. Come back and hype your girl up. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.